بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
The idea behind the Iranian Revolution was to establish the world's first modern state governed solely by Islamic law. Ayatollah Khomeini believed a more prosperous society could be created if the Iranian people and their government adhered to tenets of the Quran. But nearly 30 years on, the revolution is faltering, and many Iranians are disillusioned. Todd Nettleton is with the Voice of the Martyrs.
The people look around, they see the poverty, they see the discontent, they're not happy. And so they have questions. Well, why isn't it working out? You know, we're doing it the Islamic way. Why isn't our country great? And so they are ripe to hear a new way.
And the new way many are embracing is Christianity. But the faith is not new to Iran. The gospel actually arrived here 500 years before Islam. Persians are believed to have been among those in Jerusalem at Pentecost. Less than 0.5% of the Iranian population is Christian. There were nearly 4 times as many Christians just before the Islamic Revolution. But many fled the country because of Islamic extremism. Some of those who remain often share their faith with Muslims. As a result, the evangelical house church movement is now growing rapidly. Christian praise songs blast from the cassette player of this Iranian taxicab. The driver is a Muslim convert to Christianity. Despite risk of arrest and possible death for apostasy, he's unafraid to share his faith. A cross hangs from his rearview mirror. He keeps his Bible on the front passenger seat beside a can of STP gas treatment. He shares the gospel with his passengers and gives them a Bible if they want one. That alone could lead to his arrest. Other Christians have been martyred for sharing their faith with Muslims. Their suffering and sacrifice is not just a modern-day experience here. Many have come before them, like the missionary Mary Catherine Ironside. This is her grave. She was here until she died in 1921. She was not martyred, but she was one of many Anglicans from the Church Missionary Society sent to share the gospel throughout the Middle East. An inscription on her tombstone reads, "Will you not follow if you hear the call?" Her grave is given a place of honor at the Armenian Cathedral in the city of Isfahan. It is one of 73 churches registered in Iran. It's not established churches that the Iranian government fears most, but the rapid growth of unregistered churches. President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad is so concerned that he has made it his aim to stop the house church movement, declaring, "I will stop Christianity in this country." He's launched an unmerciful crackdown against Iranian house churches. Just this past summer, a war veteran and his wife died from beatings they received during a raid on their house church meeting in the city of Isfahan. A month earlier, Christian Tina Rod and her husband were arrested and severely beaten, held for 4 days. They were accused of committing activities against Islam and Iranian national security. Both are former Muslims. We promised to protect the identity of this house church leader. She said the crackdown has caused Christians to grow stronger and more serious. God is testing our faith because he wants us to become more like Jesus, she said. The house churches are now meeting in smaller groups. Nettleton says, while Ahmadinejad is trying desperately to halt church growth, his crackdown is actually having an opposite effect because Christians are moving around more.
We see people involved in outreach that are traveling to other cities, they're traveling to other parts of the country, and they're in turn planting these little house churches in those cities and in those parts of the country as well. So we see really widespread growth all across the country.
What should Christians around the world know about their brothers and sisters in the faith in Iran? The house church leader tells us they should know that Jesus Christ is with Iranian Christians and will never leave them nor forsake them. And what can believers around the world do for the persecuted Christians in Iran?
We have to pray for them. That is their first request. Pray for us, pray for us, pray for us. And I challenge people really to pray for the Iranian government. Pray for Ahmadinejad to have a personal meeting with Jesus Christ. Imagine how that would change that country. Imagine how that would change the world.
Gary Lane, CBN News, Tehran, Iran.